My name's Heather. This was my hike at the Rachel Carson Conservation Park in Brookeville, Maryland. It was a beautiful day, blue sky, sunshine, 42 degrees, about 1:30 in the afternoon. I needed to get outside. I needed to move my body, breathe some fresh air, look at nature, and I was quite nervous about filming in a public space. This was my first time collecting content to create a video to share on the online community. But as challenging as it was, I'm so grateful that I was filming because I get a call about halfway through my hike from a family member who gives me some upsetting health news. And I felt a little less alone knowing I was filming. So by the end of the hike, I was grateful for it all. Being able to be outside, move, and collect something to create something to share online. So this is what I'd like to do. I'd like to make videos of my adventures and activities to share so it could feel like we're doing something together. So come on this hike with me. I hope you enjoy. All right, let's take the Rachel Carson Greenway Trail. Have some signage here for forest birds. Looks like we can look for warm-eating warblers, yellow-throated vireo, scarlet tanagers, pileated woodpeckers, my absolute favorite. Here. It's about 1:30 and 41 degrees and just gorgeous blue sky, light breeze. There's one of 3 cars here. So we probably won't run into anybody. Just us. Got to be careful about the horse poo on some of these areas. Although that's surprising to see horse poo there because this is hiking only. This part at least. There's lots of areas for horses, but this portion should not have horses on it. I started coming to this area 2 years ago. It's quite a gem in the sense that even on weekends and nice days, it's pretty quiet. People-wise, that is. But it's a great place to hike. It's pretty easy as far as strenuous activities. There's some rocks, which make it kind of uneven at times, but it's mild on elevation. No real steep hills. Nice switchbacks. And you get a little bit of everything. Tall trees, little river action. There's a ton of wineberry back there. It's going to be a berry hotspot come June. A lot of invasives though. But where aren't there invasives? What I especially love is the fern trail. Oh my gosh, the ferns. And in the springtime soon, we'll have fiddleheads. It just looks like something out of a Dr. Seuss book. So we're gonna stay to the right for the Greenway instead of turning left for Fern Valley, which we'll do eventually, but we're going to take the Greenway to the river first, because why not, right? More wineberry vines. Super easy to identify because they're beautiful wine red color. Another thing you spot around here a lot is American holly. Oop, more horse poo. I gotta remind myself to gander down every now and then because I get stuck up in the canopy. I'm looking for owls, woodpeckers, other flight friends. But it is important to look for horse poop. We have a couple small airports around here, so you can hear those smaller planes flying up ahead, flying above. It's really the only loud artificial noise that you hear. Can't hear any cars, traffic. see the water a little bit. I believe it's called Hawlings River. I'm not sure what the headwaters are. Okay, so we have another area here. We can either turn left to stay on the Greenway trail or go down to the River Otter trail, which I'm going to be totally honest with you, I've never done River Otter. I have to come back, hit that again. It's one of the very cool things about this area is you could do a shirt trail. It's like a boat, like remnants of a boat over there, and a stone wall. Or you can keep hopping on different trails and make it a much longer outing. I gotta look up what's happening on this tree. I mean, it looks diseased, clearly, but I don't know if it is a disease. I see it sometimes. I've never looked it up, so I'm gonna make sure I do that today. I'm gonna get that answer for us. Kind of reminds me of a blister. That's now like the third pile I've seen. Maybe horses are allowed on this part. Would have bet that this was a hiking only, but I must be incorrect. Sounds like a commercial flight passing over us now. Should be able to see the water soon. That sun feels so warm. I'm gonna take my hood off. More horse droppings. All right. Oh, I just saw something fly off. Couldn't make out what it was. As one can imagine, sometimes this river has some nice sound to it. Today is quite relaxed and quiet. Just a little babbling around the riffles. Hello, hello. I've never done it, but I always imagine putting a hammock up right here in between two of these trees, spending a warm summer afternoon. (2024) new goal. Fulfill hammock goal. Pretty great, huh? See all the fern growing along the bank. Obvious erosion happening, but the fern is beautiful. Must try to see the positive in things. Okay, so as I said, hiking only, so maybe this really was a horse trail. So if we turned left, we would be on the hidden pond, and that would take us back closer up to the parking lot area. So we are gonna enter, so that was the Greenway trail. Short, sweet. You could turn around and head back the way that we came down, or like I said, you can take hidden pond. That is not the magical oasis that you are envisioning, just so you have clear expectations. But it will get you closer to the parking lot if you are looking for something shorter. We're gonna take Fern Valley Trail now, because why not, right? Let's go see some ferns. It will prepare you for this bit of the trail. Some low-lying areas that get quite wet, so you can go right to left to avoid some of those really mucky spots, but just be mindful. I like all that fungi, the fungus growing on that log over there by the rocks. Saprotrophic, decomposing fungi. We are just about at a mile now. It's actually not as mucky as I was anticipating. Quite nice. See, you can go off to the left a little bit here to avoid that. Stick to the edges where it's a little drier. Not just to preserve your shoes and avoid slipping, but also to help with the degradation of the trail. So as you can see, this is quite mushy. So I'm going to do a little work around here. So not terribly difficult, but there are some obstacles. So you have to mind your footing, not just for the horse droppings. We'll do a little round. Maybe this is where I should put my hammock. This is off trail. We're just gonna come down here and check out this hangout spot. Because why not, right?
I thought I would introduce myself. My name is Heather. I'm the one hosting today's hike, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to share with you a little bit why I am doing this. I am a bit in a transition moment. I have been a massage therapist for the past 12 years, and I recently went to school for environmental science as a result of the COVID lockdown. It was completely online. I enjoyed it thoroughly, but I was very eager to find something that I could align my passion and my new education. And I was a park ranger for the majority of last year. I really enjoyed a lot of the job, especially being connected to other environmental friendly, savvy, compassionate individuals. But it just didn't fit for the work-life balance, nights, weekends, that sort of thing. So I'm in the process of trying to find the next adventure. It is happening a little slower than I would like. So I am searching within to find the courage to put myself out there for a couple different reasons. I want to hold myself accountable for making sure that I use this time as wisely as possible, and also look for some connectivity with people who might not be able to get out and do things like hike here, or other things that I'm gonna try to do. So I'd like to take some of you with me and give you that opportunity to experience it with me, and also pushing myself outside my comfort zone. Even just sitting here on this rock talking to my phone camera is wildly uncomfortable, and if someone were to walk by right now, I would be totally embarrassed. But I have my GoPro strapped to my chest. I'm gonna create some content. I'm gonna share some stuff, and I look forward to seeing what comes of this. So the only other thing that I will say for this is I would appreciate some grace and kindness. I have quite thin skin. I'm very sensitive. I'm susceptible to criticism, and I know that that comes with this territory. I'm just begging those of you who do come across this to be nice, or if it's cringy or not your thing, to just move right along. But I am searching for some people to connect to, and if that's you, then I'm super glad that you're here, and I'm gonna keep pushing myself outside my comfort zone. So I hope you do the same. All right.
Sorry if I'm a little quiet. When we stopped off at that rock, I got a call from a family member. She just told me that she has breast cancer. We were waiting on her biopsy results. That was the phone call that I was waiting on to find out the results. I've been so scared to start this project. I've already chickened out once. This is not my first attempt of trying to collect content. This is so odd. I don't feel so alone knowing that this camera is strapped to my chest. It's oddly comforting to know that just in this moment believe that I'm not alone. My phone's ringing. Okay. We're back. See why it's called Fern Valley? Aren't they lovely? Right here. I don't know why. I love that look. Greens sprawling, fronds emerging from the leaf litter, especially during winter when everything is different shades of gray and brown. I feel a little bit better. That phone call helped. Sharing the news with my partner. so he can reach out and offer his support and thoughts and feelings, and just him checking in on me and just being out here with you. Thought I heard a woodpecker. Well, we did hear one. I can't see them. They're usually pretty easy to spot. Once you hear them, you can zone into where they are, and then this time of year with no foliage, their bright red head and white feathers against their black feathers. Okay. This is a pretty fun part of the trail. Switchback, little elevation. It's also not as rocky as some of the other parts of the trails, but it'll get your blood pumping a little bit. Reset breath. The holly. guys. So if we take Fern Valley Trail, it'll obviously start taking, well, not, I guess I shouldn't say obviously, it will start taking us back to the parking lot area. But we are gonna divert and take Chestnut Oak Trail because it's more of the perimeter of the area. I need a little bit more time out here. What do you think? You gonna hang out? Gonna stick with me for the rest of our outing for the day? Get a chance to see these Chestnut Oak. I mean, hello, beautiful. I would have liked to see that tree in her heyday. I bet it was beautiful. Still beautiful. So here we can stay on Chestnut Oak or turn left, which is the Scarlet Tanager Trail that you could also pick up from Fern Valley, sorry. Combining the two trail names. Fern Valley. We're gonna stay on Chestnut Oak. big part of why I'm trying this is anxiety is becoming more and more prevalent in my life. I'm not really sure what all is contributing to it, but the anxiety quickly becomes depressive moments. They go back and forth, and just been having more bad days than I typically do. So I gotta do the things, right? The things to elevate the resources to protect myself from those lows, which I am increasingly more susceptible to. I get called a sponge often. Lots of people have called me that, told me I'm a sponge. All right, we are at another mile. We've stopped a lot, taken our time, but my watch just alerted me. So, sponges soak up, right? So, things happen to people in my life. It doesn't even necessarily have to know them personally. I know I'm not alone when there's a commercial that can get me, or oh man, I will bawl during movies. First-hand accounts of people's struggles and disasters, and just feel it intensely. So the things that help reinforce the protective barriers that I need to protect against the anxiety and looming depression is this. This is an example of it. Movement. Fresh air. Sunlight. Nature viewing. As you've gathered, I'm also a talker. No surprise, but I'm typically a person who talks to themselves anyways, so talking to this camera is actually not as strange as I thought it was going to be. Okay, so here we are at the Fox Meadow loop. This is a loop that in the summertime is quite gorgeous. It is still beautiful in its winterscape, but if we went to the right, it would be a much quicker walk back to the parking lot. So we're going to take it to the left and see more of the loop. Start to hear more traffic noises along with all the flight noise we've been hearing in the background. See a little bit more birds here in the open meadow. The sun on my face feels so good. Except I forgot to put on sunscreen. Whoops. I think that's a little bluebird. Yeah, they're little bluebirds. Eastern bluebirds. Probably males because they're so bright. There's a bluebird by our mailbox. He's very territorial of the area, of the tree area around our mailbox, and will attack our vehicles if we stop to do recycling bins or get mail, talk to our neighbor. He will attack the window, and then he sees his reflection and it's all over. He's like, who is this guy? A little mucky here. Sunlight isn't penetrating through the tree canopy there to harden this mud up. So here we are at another sign. So we can either go right to the parking lots, straight to that hidden pond trail that we passed a while ago. Also, turning right is continuing the loop. So I'm going to pause this here